Good afternoon or evening, everyone. I am your proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business, Mike Asherbranner, and you are here rolling with the Hounds of Business with Mike King Biz, 106.1 ESPN RVA in Richmond. Thank you for tuning in. If you're on the live stream, welcome. If you're on the radio listening, hope you're having a great day. Today, I have a special guest and a dear friend of mine, Kristine Bell. Probably has to be the most brilliant business strategist I've ever met. Uh, it's amazing. Really transformed my business and community. And I want to make sure that we open this up for all the folks out there, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a startup or you're scaling up to the next level. Oh, tune into this, take notes, go back. If you want to go back and listen to this on YouTube, you can find us on our channel. It's Hounds of Business on YouTube, also on LinkedIn, Hounds of Business, or you can find me, Mike Asherbranner. So without further ado, let us roll the intro video and we will get back with the one and only Kristine.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business Community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations? Well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success? It's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business Community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness. Just like crawfish.
Like crawfish and singing on a Friday night, man. That I gotta put that on my t-shirt. We gotta make some merch with that. All right. Kristine Bell, welcome to the show. How are you today, my friend?
I'm really good, thank you. It's a little hot and muggy in Sydney, but I like warm weather, so it's okay.
Check this out. We've already got Dr. Jeffrey Berger in the house. Hello to you too, my friend. Royce Blake, man, that guy, he's all over it, man. Love having you in the pack. Homer, happy to see you, my friend. And they're piling in. And all the folks out there in Richmond and Mike King land, hey, thank you for tuning in. Today, you're in for a special treat. So, not only did Kristine Bell help me in my businesses, but also help me really grow the Hounds to where it is today and more exciting where we're about to go in December. So, Kristine, welcome and thank you. My first question is, you have a 25-year journey, right? Your journey spans 25 years across multiple continents. What sparked your initial passion for consumer strategy and market research? Why is it so important?
Oh,
Tell us a little bit.
so where do we start this? I'll try and keep it short. Thank you for this big question. It is a big question. I think from a young age, I actually wanted to be in advertising. I don't know why. It sounded glamorous and I wanted to do that. And then my first job was with Ogilvy and Mather in Cape Town, South Africa. And I was a strategist. And key part to writing a creative brief is to understand humans. If you want to have great messaging, great communication, you got to understand who you're talking to. And it has to be an insight that actually stops people in their track and go, oh, she's talking to me. This is for me.
Yep.
And with that, grew my interest in learning more about humans. And then I went to the UK and I was also working in strategy, but I was young. And strategy is subjective. This is not like this is right, this is wrong. It's subjective. And guess what? When you're young and you don't have much experience, it's very hard to be heard and seen as a strategist. So one of the things I learned to be smart was that if I started doing qualitative market research and became an expert in speaking to the people, then I used that insight, especially because I work in cultures I didn't grow up in. So I didn't have that background either. So I needed to learn about the culture too, whether it's South Africa or the UK. And I learned by becoming a qualitative researcher, speaking to people, that I loved doing it, that I was great at it. And two, when I was presenting strategy back to clients, They were listening because I wasn't saying this is what I think. I said, this is what's going on with your ideal customers. This is what they're thinking. This is what they're feeling. This is what they want. And so I learned that it was being young in the industry, that was my ticket to be heard and seen and to be taken seriously. And I loved it. I loved talking to people. I loved doing focus groups. I loved traveling and understanding humans around the world. And that's what I've done for a long time.
Well, see, you've worked with major brands and large name corporations,
Yeah.
right? So, but now, and share what what you like about that. But you went from doing those things for 25 years internationally,
Yeah.
right? Because right now you're in Australia, right? That's where the accent's coming from. If all you folks in live in Virginia are wondering, she's from Australia, but you're actually from you're
Yes,
Danish, who's living in Australia. So you have your own accent all to yourself, trademarked and
I
everything,
surely
right?
do.
So you sure do. But it speaks a lot because what prompted you to stop doing, major strategy for corporations and bringing it to the entrepreneurial world? For first of all, it's not a buzzword, right? Like branding and networking. Now community is a buzzword, but you don't hear a lot about strategy. However, through you, I've learned, wow, to not go at a business endeavor or developing a program or whatever without a strategy is why most entrepreneurs fail, is it not? So what made you transition from corporate, and why do you enjoy helping out entrepreneurs, startup and scale ups?
So it's actually a personal journey that got me here. I was working long hours in research and strategy. Most big brands do research, qualitative research first to understand and then create strategy. And I was doing that for a long time. And about, what was it, 9 years ago, I walked out of a job. It wasn't that it wasn't a great job. It wasn't that they didn't pay me well. I actually also had 4 days a week, which was unheard of. I'm still working long hours though.
Mhm.
And I just couldn't do it. One day I literally walked in and I resigned. And I went home and I went, what the heck did I just do? And it wasn't the first time I'd done that trick. I'd done it with the previous job as well. But then I got scared and went back into another job. And I stayed for 3 years just because I thought that would look better on my CV. Because from the day I signed, I thought I shouldn't do this, but I did it anyway. I went against my inner knowing. And basically what it took me on was a personal journey. I had burnout and I did not know what burnout was. And it turned out I
Mhm.
was very burned out and I needed help. So I got a lot of help. And with that, I knew I couldn't go back into a job. I had to work for myself. I needed to make money. Yeah. So kind of being self-employed, basically. So that's kind of what I needed to do. I needed to be self-employed so I could take care of me and I could learn boundaries and I could learn to set boundaries and I could learn to find myself and be more balanced. And so with that, I started freelancing for a few small agencies, including my 2 last employers actually hired me as a freelancer. So that was kind of interesting, but at least there were more boundaries. And then as time went on, in the early years of working for myself, I started bringing in some of the big clients. I actually brought in Unilever, who I'd worked with for many years on and off across continents. And I brought in Ben and Jerry with them as well. And I brought in other
Wow.
clients that came to me directly. And that was great because now I suddenly was, wow, I'm doing this myself. But guess what? I was starting to burn out again because I still hadn't worked completely on my self-worth. And I still was looking to always be validated. And so I was doing a lot of work and I was a one-man band. And their timelines do not change just because you are a one-man band, yeah? And their agendas don't change either. So I was finding myself kind of starting to work very long hours, making good money just before the lockdowns. And, I was in control, but I was constantly running after and being scared to say no to projects or saying no to timelines that I couldn't actually handle. Then came the lockdowns in Australia. And if you didn't know, Australia had some significant lockdowns. And my industry with doing qualitative research, which is face-to-face, back then was very much face-to-face, etc., all shut down. And what had always happened, was already happening in my industry, was there was a change in using more technology and how they were doing insights and all this stuff. So things were already on the change. So what happened was just before the lockdowns, I started a meetup group. I started networking with small business owners. And I started a meetup group in Sydney. And I started doing talks at WeWork and networking events that I arranged in person. And I started doing classes in Sydney for free. And I had a lot of people coming to it, and it was all small business owners. And I didn't have an offer. I had nothing to sell to them because everything that I used to sell to big companies were priced at a high ticket. It's a lot of money that we charge for that for big businesses, and so I didn't know what to offer them. So I kind of took a human-centered approach to creating an offer for small business owners, because as I spoke to more and more of them, and I did informal research with more than 300 small business owners, what I learned was they think they do strategy, but they don't know what real big strategy is, like the overall, the big strategy that big businesses are good at putting in place.
Exactly.
And I learned that they weren't doing it. They were going straight to, here's my offer. Let's create it over here in isolation, loving on it. Not saying it wasn't a great offer, but mostly they're guessing who the ideal customers was. They're guessing how they should present themselves, what their brand was, how to communicate, etc., what the offer should be even. And then they would go straight to, I need a website. I need to, obviously you need to make money. So you want to launch. I get a website. I get a logo. I get the graphics. I get my brand, everything done. Yeah. Usually by different people helping them.
Yep.
And those people go, sorry, you want to say?
No, exactly. No, because there's a lot to unpack. Jeff just put a comment on there, folks on the radio. I also left corporate America in 2015 because I was burnt out. And there's in the Hounds of Business and just in general in the world, there's a lot of people that can relate to this. So good job. All right. Good job for not burying your head in the sand, number one, for going out there and saying, I'm not happy. I'm going to find a way to do it. That's step number one. A lot of people don't have courage. It took me a long time. So if you're out there driving around going, hey, I'm really, I have insurance at work, or I have, 401k and all these excuses. We got a million of reasons why we can't be successful and start a business. But give me one, right? Give me one. That's the challenge. So here's what I like about you. You've been there and done that. You're not talking from an academia standpoint. You also understand what entrepreneurs face real time. So when life does this, guys, when life throws little bags of dog poo at you, right, every day and challenges you, you've learned to make it into fertilizer, right, to increase your stock price. So here's what I'm talking about. Everybody out there, listen, you know what I mean. When you break away to start a business, you realize that someone else, your previous employer, corporation, was doing 95, 99% of the stuff you now have to do. So absolutely, I did the same thing Kristine just said. And in the comments, tell us, right, if you relate to this. I need a website. That's what everybody has. So I go build a website. Oh, I need this thing. I need a marketing email list. I need to do content. And it's like taking a bunch of jigsaw puzzle pieces and dumping them on the table without a box, and you have to put it together. So what do you do? So when entrepreneurs' first reaction is to go in and just start doing stuff, what do you encourage them to do, and how do you get started?
I encourage them to take a step back, do research to get to know their ideal customers and where the opportunity really is. I encourage them to think about their competitors. A lot of small businesses go very like just me, when in fact you're operating in a market with others there. So I'm very much take a step back, do the big picture. Let's figure out where the positioning is, where there's a gap, where there's an opportunity, and what that looks like from a positioning, brand positioning, value proposition perspective that is aligned with the ideal customers. I'll use the analogy that you gave me, which I love and I use all the time, and you gave me this one. It's like a car, yeah? You need the product, you need your service, your customer experience, your brand positioning, your communication. It all needs to drive in the same direction at the same speed, yeah? So those are your four wheels. It all needs to hang together, and you need that GPS on to make sure that you actually get into the right place. And I'm the GPS that actually sets that destination first. Yeah, we get the destination right, and then we make sure that the four wheels are driving at the same direction at the same speed, saying the same thing about you again and again and again.
Absolutely. Hey, I got to do my thing. You are tuning in to the Hounds of Business Presents Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN RVA 106.1 FM. I am here with the one and only, I'll get it right, Kristine Bell, all right, the go-to strategist, right? So if you're an entrepreneur or a startup or scale up and you're trying to grow your business, this is where to go, all right? Most people just start doing stuff, and hey, you need a plan. You need to know who you are. You need to know the aspects. And we're about to dive into that with Kristine. But let me plug the Hounds in real quick. You have people out there since COVID now more than ever. They have a desire to be the antidote to all the stuff they don't like out there. They want to make an impact. They want to live happy lives, but they won't. Most of them won't. You know why? Because they don't have the daggum resources and support to make it a reality. And that's where the Hound steps in. So don't do it alone. Hey, check out the Hounds of Business. Check us out on YouTube. Send me a LinkedIn message or email. Go to Redneck Financial Coach, .com, even though it's old. Uh, Reach out and plug into someone, right? Plug in with a team of high level heart centered professionals, guys. Don't do it alone. So we're back with Kristine, and wow. So Kristine, one of the things that you do, and this is how I phrase it, because again, strategy is not something that's talked about in entrepreneurial circles or small business. It is kind of do it later when they get IPO or something, but that's not the case. That's goofy. So most of us operate as I call chess pieces on a board, right? We're worried about the next tactical move, this website, this sales call. When in reality, the best of the best zoom out from the chessboard and become a chess master,
Yep.
right? And I learned that from you. I just put it in my redneck way. So when you do that, let me ask you a question. When you help guide people, one of the things that you talk about a lot, right, is your unique value proposition. Why do you think so many founders struggle to articulate that unique value proposition?
It's a big question. Obviously, there's different reasons why many of them fail to do it. One is perhaps we don't know what we don't know. On the seeming, when you look at it, it looks quite simple. Yeah, that can't be that hard to do. Yeah. Let's just put a sentence together. This is the value I'm adding, and let's not worry about everyone else in this game because I'm me and I'm unique. Yeah. And so we kind of just go with that. So I think it's often we don't know what we don't know. And this is possibly come back to my why. Why did I go from big business to small business? Because I believe in everyone should be able to have fulfillment and joy and be great at what they do and have the freedom that I want. And if we really want to build a business, I'm at the place where I can't go back. Like, you got to die on this hill. I will be successful, or die on this hill for it. And if you're there, then you need to figure out long-term how you're going to get there. Yeah. It's not going to work with tactics. You might be winning some here and some there, but overall, if you want to win long-term, you've got to really sit back and go, okay, what is actually the biggest strategy here in place in my category, in my market? How can I be special? How can I offer something that is of real value, that adds functional, emotional, social, even social impact? Yeah. Because that's what a value promise is. A value proposition is what you're promising them. Yeah. For people to buy you, if you are priced at bigger than a chocolate bar, if you're priced at a certain point, yeah, people are not just going to say, yeah, let me spend 10,000 there unless really have nothing else but to spend money. And even so, they're not going to care. And I want people to care about it. I want them to take it on board, what I do and use it. So I think we got to think about it from that perspective. There's so many options out there. It's such a noisy world. How can you actually, when you come out with an offer, how can you make sure that people will listen to it, that they'll go, yeah, you know what, I have that problem, I need that, and actually I really want that value. And it's not just a functional value, it has to be emotional as well, or social, and even social impact if you can get there. Self-actualization is the biggest promise you can give to everyone. Not everyone can deliver it though.
See, that's you hit the nail on the head. I didn't know what I was doing. Anybody in the comments out there and people driving around listening on the radio, most of us didn't know what we were doing either. We were all passionate and no clue. No clue. And that's the problem. We mix methodologies. We don't usually have the money to invest. And if we do invest, it's usually in the wrong thing, right? And so you're the guide. You're the person that says, "Hey, if you're going to ready to start this journey, let's think it through." That's what I heard you saying just now. Let's think it through. Let's follow a proven system, right? A roadmap, and let's do it piece at a time, right? Don't put the cart before the horse. And that's what you're great at. You help me in the Hounds of Business understand, right? Research the market, research what's going on, the needs, why we're attractive, and you did all that research and you put it in a clear roadmap. And I knew for the first time what to do. And it was a mind blowing. That's why we accelerated our growth, because you were the person that said, "Hey, you're worried about executing stuff and tactics. How about we zoom out and paint a picture like a GPS, just like you said, point A, where I'm at, point B, where do I want to go?" And Kristine is the guy that helped me and other people get there. So before you start just doing stuff and making pretty graphics, hold up and go talk to Kristine. And on that note, and we have some new guests rolling in. Kurt Robbins, Thank you for showing up. Yolanda is back. My goodness. Jason Perry, more country than me. Homer, thank you. And Michelle Ward, she's a rock star. She's a new hound. Great to see you. And if I missed anybody, there's glitches. I am so sorry. So let me ask you this. We talk about co-creating strategy with clients. You talk about that a lot. How does that differ from traditional consulting when somebody goes to get business help?
So traditionally, big businesses have the money, so they will hire an agency or someone like me sometimes to do everything for them from a customer lens. So it's very much around really going deep with the customers, bringing out the insights, do the analysis, do the mapping for them of the category, where they fit in, where the needs are, etc. Do everything. Then I present it, and then depending on their agendas, they might take it all on board, or they will take parts of it, etc. For small businesses, because this comes at a quite high price ticket, it's not that cheap when it's full time. For small businesses, they can't afford that. And two, I want them to own their strategy. I'm not here for them to. I don't want businesses to be needing me as per se. I don't want them to rely on me. I'm tired of seeing a lot of companies out there, and actually what they're selling is a constant, you're going to need me forever. Yeah. I want people to take charge of their strategy. And I saw a lot of people possibly not knowing is they don't take charge of their strategy. And I want them to think a little bit more. And if you don't mind, I'll give an example. Skincare is a great example of it. Think about skincare. You could come out and say, oh, I've created a great skincare product. It's wonderful, etc. And I'll be like, yeah, but who are you selling it to? Because depending on your motivations, and in Australia alone with women, there is 10 different motivations in skincare. And based on their motivations, that will mean that they want different types of products. So they don't all want the same products. If someone has problem skin, I can sell a certain product to them. It's not going to work for someone who wants youthful skin or someone who wants natural. Yeah. That value promise is not going to work for them. Absolutely. So we even have to look at it from a product and service offer, how we can tailor it to their motivations and needs. From a brand perspective, young 20-year-old who wants to be the pretty girl, and look the best, she's going to want different communication than someone who has real problem skill with acne, or someone who's 40 years old or 50 years old. They're not going to respond to the same brand, the same communication, the same offer. So this is where this is all about. You really got to step back and go, who am I talking to? And really get to know your customers, like really getting to know them in terms of what they're about, what are their motivations, what do they actually want out of it, what is the problem they're solving, and very importantly, their belief systems, the belief systems in your category. And the belief system for all of us are different for each category, yeah? And even within the category, there's different belief systems. And we make decisions, all of us make decisions based on our values, our belief systems, and our motivations. So it's well and good that I say it, and people tell me, oh, my ideal customers are, in this industry, or they're this age or demographic, etc. That's all well and good. I'm not saying that's important, but the first stop is motivations and belief systems. If you understand that first in your whole category, you can figure out where you fit in and where you slot in and where you align. And that's what I've done with you as well in your work with the community.
Oh, in a huge way. Great analogy. I think of a car. It's like, hey, I made a car. I manufacture a car. Really? Is it an off-road? Is it economy? Is it fuel? Is it fancy? Is it for showing off and, getting attention? You just can't say, well, I got a business that helps people do X. Really? What makes you stand out? And the voice, your language. See, you sit back and plan. Like, you wouldn't go on an Appalachian Trail and you've never been on a hike before. You probably die, right? Like, you need a guide, you need a plan. And that's what you do for entrepreneurs, but also just any businesses who want to go next level. And I'm proof positive it works. So thank you for making these things affordable and accessible, because a couple things I want folks to know. Number one, if you're on the radio, you can find Kristine, the one-stop shop. She has a link tree, but also Spark It. So like spark, like a flame. Spark It insights.com. Sparkit-insights.com. Go there, check it out, because you have two things. You have a free webinar, which I don't know why you still keep it free. Y'all better jump on this webinar before I make her add zeros to it. And number two, you just made a new community,
Yes.
right? And that's funny because you've been a Hounds leader forever. And everybody's like, well, did she start a community? Yeah, I don't teach strategy. I'm in your community learning strategy and I have seen it. Oh
Well,
my
you're part
gosh,
of
you're
it.
helping veterinarians, you're helping all. You're helping me, you're helping people in space programs. I mean, it's unbelievable. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in. You need a plan. You need somebody to guide you and think this through. Because if you don't, you're going to do like I did, go piecemeal and run around and wonder why your business doesn't work, get a complex and think you're not cut out for this. You are cut out for this. You just got to learn the stuff you don't know. So tell us about your webinar, and also your community, and what people can do to plug in, because it makes it super accessible and affordable if folks are struggling with money right now, as most entrepreneurs do, right? Go ahead.
And it's so much fun, yeah, because it's live sessions, and I'm so glad
Oh,
that you're part of it. I'm doing the minimal viable testing at the moment with, what are we, 5 or 6 of us
right.
in there, and it's so great. Like, we're all chipping in. It's all co-creation at its best, isn't it? So we're all co-creating together. Obviously, I'm leading it, but we're all co-creating together, which is what I love. Yesterday we did a session on marketing execution. How often do you want would you wish someone could just look at your execution that you're putting on social or website and go, hey, can you just give me some feedback, relevant
Right.
feedback? The feedback will help me think a little bit more about it. And we all chipped in on each other's yesterday. And I thought it was amazing in terms of helping you. And everyone was like, wow, I just got some new insights into how I can do better.
Absolutely. So your webinars and your group calls really walk people through how to do it. And the danger is sometimes they think, oh, I can do it now. No, you can't. More than likely. And here's why. Not that you're stupid or anything. It's just you can't see the forest from the trees. Why do you think chiropractors don't crack their own necks, right? Why do you think I do stupid stuff even though I'm a finance guy, right? That's what I mean. Plug it into a community, plug it into a guy like Kristine can really make the difference. So if you're going to invest, hey, invest in the foundation, right? You wouldn't buy a house without a foundation. So don't be trying to start a business or buy one without a foundation. And that's where Kristine comes in. So in the last 2 minutes, walk us through, give us a case study, something that you're really proud of that really paints the picture for the folks listening of how you can help somebody who wants to start or scale their business.
Okay, so I recently worked with a vet who I'm really excited about. She's in the community and she wants to scale an in-home vet service in Australia, which there's definitely a need for.
Mhm.
And what we did was we took a step back and we really looked at how can she break the barriers. And humans are habitual behaviors, yeah, so there's a lot of habitual behaviors. We just go to the clinic with the dog or the cat, whatever, yeah, this is how it's done. We all hate it. It's stressful, it's annoying, etc., and it's clinical, and all these things. But for her to
Yep.
actually be able to be heard and seen, we had to understand how we can actually break those patterns. What do we need to say? What do we need to offer? What does the experience need to be to make sure that we communicate in a way where people go, hold on, that's much nicer, that would be better for me, that would be easier. And so I'm really proud of her, of that. And if you don't know her, she called Swift Vets, and it's an amazing service. I use her myself as well for our dog. And basically what's really amazing now is she's got a really clear roadmap, literally exactly how we're going to build this business, what she needs to say, how we can stand out in terms of getting people to go, hold on, this would be better for me than having to sit at that vet. So both on a functional level, we know that it's inconvenient, it's stressful, and it takes up time and it's boring. But emotionally, yeah, as a dog owner, if her ideal customers are the ones who are like the parents and the ones who loves their babies, yeah, and we know that they don't want to stress or have that animal anxious, yeah. So this is the strategy we're going in with. And then we're also very clear on where we start in Sydney, how we started, who to build relationships with, going door to door at this point. Yeah, we're back into literally going door to door to pitch stores, to literally putting flyers in my neighbor's post mailbox, etc. So I'm excited for where she's going to go. She's looking for investors, by the way, if anyone wants to invest in this, so she can go big.
Yeah, and real quick, is we have to end. I love it. You champion your clients like no other. Listen, if not for you, she would have wasted time, money, and aggravated the neighborhood by running around, or could have running around like a lot of folks do, and just littering everything with paper, right? That no one's going to respond to, like the junk mail, right? Now she's in the right neighborhood. She's in the right place with the right message. And now she's not going to be surprised when people come to her because she's solving problems that they want solved. That's what you do. So next time you go make a website and I don't know what to do and all this, yeah, because you didn't do the planning first. So
Strategy.
Kristine, everybody go check Kristine out. Kristine Bell with a K, Kristine. All right. linkedin.com. You can go there, check it out, connect with her. We are on YouTube. You can find her there. We'll repost it. And listen, sparkit-insight.com. All right. Go to the Hounds of Business YouTube. I'll put all the links in there. And thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for the Hounds and friends of the Hounds in the comments. I really can't say enough about Kristine and what she's got going on. And this community, holy cow. Get rid of Starbucks for something like that for a day, all right, and just put it into your own business and see what happens. All right. I thank you for making this affordable, accessible. Thank you for being who you are. And folks, thank you for popping in and championing and supporting like no others. If you're looking for a pack to grow your business and you're out there trying to do it alone, stop it. All right. No more strays. All right. Welcome home. Check out the Hounds of Business. I got a group call. And Mike King, thank you so much, folks in Richmond. Appreciate you all. We'll see you back here next time. It's a regular time, 2 p.m. Tuesdays. Everybody have a great day, and thank you again. Bye, Kristine. Appreciate you. Thanks for all you do for the Hounds.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.